Oh, excuse the hood. I think it makes me look a little mysterious. I'd like to preface this video by saying that I'm a massive idiot. After dedicating a few years of my life and my literal career to fighting scammers and promoting scam awareness, to fall victim to a scam myself is, quite frankly, embarrassing. However, it can and does happen to the best of us at times, and as easily as I could turn this video into a bash Chris fest, I think I'd prefer to take the opportunity to explain what happened and maybe help prevent others from falling into the same trap that I did. That, and, I haven't released a scam-related video for a while, and I guess I feel a bit bad. So, what happened? Oh, it was a few days after Christmas and I was still disoriented from overindulgent on these little bad boys when I was sent a PDF document via email to complete in order to facilitate the upcoming sale of my car. Now, I had treated myself to a gaming laptop shortly before Christmas, and that was currently plugged into my setup at home, and honestly, I couldn't be bothered to unplug everything and swap over to my Mac where I would normally do my officey admin-y stuff and have access to a completely free PDF editor, a mistake based on bone idleness which would ultimately cost me a total of almost 30 British pounds. So I did the unthinkable and Googled it. After spending a few moments contemplating the vast options presented to me, I finally opted for the top choice, PDFSmart, failing to notice the word sponsored above the link, perhaps in some days to do with wanting to get a menial task over and done with, so I could resume being chased by deadly 2D sprites. The website looked good, there was no obvious warning signs that I would associate with a scam website, so I proceeded to upload a PDF. So, here's the thing, the website itself and the function I needed it for, all legit. I edited my PDF alright, and it was easy, user-friendly, and in that moment I was just chuffed that it was a job done on a lazy day off in that weird time vacuum between Christmas and New Year. But when I finished doing what I needed to do and clicked download, I was presented with this. Okay, fair enough. I hadn't expected to make a payment, and I was pretty sure there was something on the homepage about a free trial or whatever, though in retrospect I suppose I should have paid better attention to the small print, but for the sake of £1, I was quite happy to pay for services rendered, especially when some of the details I had to fill in on the poorly scanned PDF file were quite long, like engine, a chassis number, and again, I just couldn't be bothered to stop at that point and go an alternative route, and therein, I feel, lies the advantage to these scammers. It was a day later when my wife, ever eagle-eyed in managing our finances, pointed out to me that there were 2 transactions she didn't recognise on our account, the £1 for the PDF website and a pending payment for £29.90 to the very same company. What? I didn't authorise that. £1 for sure for a week's limited access, but not this £29.90. At this point, my mind started racing, thinking that my details had been compromised, that the website itself was a front to collect my card details, which were then sold on the dark web for whoever to do whatever with. The ironic thing is, I work in fraud. I should know better, right? My wife, gleeful at the irony of the situation, left for work, leaving me with the mess of my own creation to sort out. My first port of call was to see where the transaction actually took place, and was given an address and phone number in Switzerland. Now, I wasn't about to call this number and incur additional expenses, since, for all I know, this could be part of the elaborate plan of this website to get more money from you in the form of long call times to premium numbers. So I returned to Google to see if this was an isolated case, and here's what I found. Oh dear. Scam, scammed, scammers. It seems mine was not an isolated incident at all. I was not the only victim of this PDFSmart scam. What's worse is that a lot of the positive reviews appear to be either written by bots or written by people who have not used the website at all. Sure, it's no lie that you can edit Sure, it's no lie that you can edit PDFs, but what's this? Everything is available without requiring you to download any software or purchase an expensive subscription. Or pay for expensive subscriptions because everything is free? Offers premium, cost-free PDF services. It's also free, unlike similar sites. No, it isn't. That's utter rubbish. The more I dug into PDFSmart, the more I realised I had fallen for one of the oldest tricks in the book. I had failed to read the small print, if there ever was any, and taken the pay £1 for a week's access as gospel, as a simple, cost-effective and quick method of getting a job done, an open-shut transaction that would require no more afterthought than the amount of calories over the recommended daily amount me and my family had consumed over the last few days. I called my bank's Visa disputes team, and whilst I was unable to get a refund on the payment as it had already been called for, and Visa's policy on reading terms and conditions, I was able to get a block put on it from my bank's end, preventing any further transactions, hopefully. At this point, I had been advised to contact the website directly, as there was still the risk that they could call for further payments of £29.90, and given I had no idea at this point how often they could do this, I contacted PDFSmart on an email provided in one of the negative reviews to try and put a stop to this once and for all. So I sent this. Hello, I am writing to request you cancel any further unauthorised payments of £29.90. I used your service and paid £1 for a week's access in order to edit a PDF. At no point did I authorise any further payments other than the initial £1 for the week's access. I know you know exactly what you're doing, and I am embarrassed enough to admit that I have been scammed. However, I do not wish for any recurring payments to be taken, so please take me through the process to get this cancelled. Now, normally I would blur the email addresses of the recipient. However, on the off chance any of you have found this video and are in the same situation I was, I want you to be able to contact these people and chase it up in the same way that I did. To my surprise, I did receive a reply, and a fairly timely one at that. Dear client, our private PDF online service includes a 7-day trial period and is charged at £0.99 or £1.99. In order to facilitate the subsequent download of your PDF, the bank card used for the statement is pre-authorised for any future amounts. As for the £29.90 you see on your bank statement does not correspond to a debit but to a pre-authorisation for future services. If you no longer wish to benefit from our service, I am pleased to invite you to download your cancellation form attached. This form must be returned by email by completing the required fields. Regards, your customer service. Now, veterans of Raghav Gupta's exploits may share my opinion that the language used or the grammar format of the reply is quite reminiscent of the scammers we speak to, and because of that I was quite hesitant to click the link provided. But putting security measures in place, I swallowed my pride and clicked. No, my computer did not explode, and as far as I'm aware, there are no viruses attached to this document. It does appear to be a simple cancellation PDF. So I filled it in, and no, not via PDFSmart, for God's sake. For some reason, on the program I was using, the text was read by default, and for the hell of it, I decided to leave it that way, as it sends the right message for how I felt at the time. So I put, your website makes it very unclear to a person on what happens when they pay for a week's access. There is no account to log into, no method of managing a subscription manually outside of this outdated method of contacting you directly by email and filling in this ridiculous form. You claim to take a pre-authorised payment of £29.90 after the 7-day trial period, which I paid £1 for, but in actual fact take it almost immediately, knowing that by doing so you are almost guaranteed to turn £1 into over £30, knowing most people are only likely to be paying to edit 1 or 2 PDFs as opposed to having a week's worth of editing ahead. It is, without a doubt, an unethical practice that hides behind Visa's annoying adherence to following terms and conditions and reading the small print. It is immoral and most certainly a scam that exists within the hazy grey between legal and illegal. I have no doubt my comments and the vast amount of negative reviews you have, to say nothing of the bogus positive reviews, will do anything to change your practice, but rest assured I am doing what I can to bring attention to your immoral practices in hopes that people will steer clear from your website altogether. I chuck the form in an email and send it back with the instruction to cancel any further unauthorised payments, just to drill my annoyance home a little bit further. And that is where I have left it. So, is PDFSmart a scam? Well, yes and no. In the traditional sense, it is a website that offers a range of tools for fiddling about with PDF documents, but where it falls flat on its face in the legitimacy department is the underhanded tactics it employs when coercing payment from people. It appears, on the surface at least, that if you simply want a week's access to edit and download PDFs at your leisure, a payment of £1 is a reasonable price to pay, but given the website is not very upfront about the additional cost of £29.90 for future services, which in itself makes assumptions on the length of time a person is wanting to use the service, especially when the option chosen was for a week, it's easy to see how PDFSmart is using this overt-covert confusion to its advantage. Once you enter your card details, you've committed to pay a little over £30, the £1 that you were prepared to pay, and the pre-authorised, I say in very loose terms, payment of £29.90, which is called for almost immediately and not after the 7-day trial period. Now, forgive my ignorance, but does not the existence of a trial period speak of a person's potential to change their mind on a service? By taking the additional payment of £29.90 straight away, PDFSmart are making an assumption that you are satisfied before the trial period is over, and any hope of getting a refund would doubtlessly involve laborious and vaguely questionable communications via email between you and PDFSmart. What makes this worse is that a person does not sign up for an account with PDFSmart. There is no section for a user to log in and manage their account manually. It all has to be done via email, which is not really a user-centric or customer service-focused method for a business to adopt. And for a company that boasts itself as having a perfect 5.0 score over 30,142 reviews, the website only displays 3 of them, and even then I'm not certain that they weren't written by employees or a bot. What I truly believe, now I am on the other side of this experience, is that PDFSmart is a basic PDF editing software imprisoned behind a dishonest paywall shrouded in a website that has done a decent job as a passing facsimile for a genuine service. The red flags are only really noticed when you have a cause to look for them, and by that point you've likely already lost almost £30 for the privilege of editing and downloading a single PDF. They are operating in such a grey area as to not be outright declared as a scam website, as there is actual functionality to what they offer, but the awful way they structure the payment system and essentially trick people into losing more than the initial £1 that they were likely to be happy to pay leaves me little option other than to recommend you avoid PDFSmart at all costs. And if you're after an alternative to PDF editing, please do your research first. Don't be like me. 30,000 5-star reviews. Yeah, right. Well, guys, that is it for this mini episode. I hope it has been educational, if not amusing, at my own expense. Again, thanks so much for your patience, and I am really hoping to get the remastered version of Scambaiting 1 up next month, which will tie in quite nicely with the episode's 1-year anniversary. If you've enjoyed this video, then please consider liking and maybe subscribing, and pop any questions you have in the comment section, and you know I'll get back to you. Anyways, have a happy new year, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Did I mention that I have a gaming video out? At this point, I had been advised to contact the website, as there was still a risk that they get... It's taking so long. What makes this even worse is that a person does not sign up for an account with PDFSmart. There is no section for a... Oh, no, errors. Well, guys, that is it for this mini episode. I hope it has been amusing, if not educational. That's not the line. That's not the... If you've enjoyed this episode, then feel free to like and subscribe, and pop any questions in the comments if you... He had it and then he lost it. Woo! I know you're wondering about the hood. Have I gone bald or something underneath? No, I haven't. It's just that not yet, at least, but the lighting in here is a bit weird, and I don't know, I just didn't like the shape of my head in this. I don't know. This is better. This might become a thing. It might become a thing.